Oh, does that say Murder 101?
Yes.
I thought you said Murder LOL.
LOL, just a little murder. Oh my god. Hello.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm Abby.
And I'm Shawna.
And this is Anxious.
And Afraid.
The podcast.
Where we talk about terrible things.
Yep, mostly terrible. They'll make you feel anxious.
Or afraid.
Yep.
Say it every time.
Here we go. So.
Sup. We even had like the same tone. Like, so. We're here.
Here we are on the hottest of hot days.
It is the hottest of hot days.
We are in the middle of a
heat wave.
We're talking like basically 100 degrees. Every day.
For sure. For sure it's today, 100 degrees.
It's nasty.
It's pretty intense.
Other than that, what made you anxious or afraid recently?
Thank you for asking. Oh my god. Again, besides everything in my entire existence,
yes.
I'm actually quite anxious and afraid at the moment. So if I sound quite annoying, that's why.
You are wiggling around
I
lot.
need to stop. Okay, I'm just nervous for this episode. But anyways, I don't know. America. We sadly live in it.
I'm really embarrassed of us, right?
And it's the start of the downfall of the year.
Yeah, it's an election year, which is already horrible.
Yeah,
as a baseline, and then
I already knew I was going to be like upset most of the year.
I think I'm more upset than I was planning on being. We just got like this whole the podcast, I guess, but the first debate just happened.
It wasn't so great.
Biden and Trump. Nope. Everyone's
scared a lot of us people. Yeah. The fact that we're already talking about it too is exhausting. And I hate it that we just literally election year is like all year long, technically. So, that's already starting to get to me. Okay. And I don't know how to handle it. I don't know how to dissociate enough. I
know it's,
I'm not sure if I'm prepared because even if the good outcome happens, it's just the process of it. And that we have kids now and it like is physically hard on my body.
Yeah. Yes.
Like I had a visceral reaction in my body where I'm like, oh, I must go. I'm gonna.
I don't think I know actually anyone that watched for more than just a few minutes and then just turned it off.
Couldn't even handle a solid 5.
Nope.
Just read the highlights or non-highlights later. Yeah. So our friends outside of the U.S., please pray for us. It's not fun going through this.
Yeah. And also, I get it if you want to make fun of us, but can you just be gentle about it? Because we're already in a bad place.
Yeah. A lot of us this is not our fault. And we don't know how to stop it.
This isn't what we want.
So that's where I'm at. So that's going to be my excuse for the rest of the year.
It's an election year. Blanket.
I'm just going to use that.
Yeah.
I'll start that.
That works.
Sure. Thanks.
Well, Michael and I are on vacation right now.
Good for you guys.
Thank you. It's the first one we've had in a while.
Since Theo.
Yeah. And we are planning on going to the beach house.
How fun.
I know. It's going to be Theo's first beach experience.
I hope he loves it.
I know, his first overnight experience somewhere else. So it's a lot of firsts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little scared.
It's okay to be scared.
But we're hoping for the best. I think we're right now in a delusional mindset where we're like, everything's going to be great. Nothing's going to go wrong.
Stay there until you get there.
Yeah.
And then you'll freak out. I'm not helping.
I think I'm also more just like logistically how we're going to fit all the things that we need to fit in our car.
Because there's so much more things to bring.
Yeah.
You're bringing a whole nother person.
And a
dog.
And we're taking a whole ass foldable like mattress with us because the one there is so awful. And we're all just going to try and sleep together like on this mattress that we're bringing on the floor.
Yeah.
But it takes up a lot of space. And so I'm just like, I keep like virtually playing Tetris like in my mind of how things
you're going to pack.
And I haven't gotten
You got the wrap. You're fine. You're going to be great.
Yeah.
You'll find ways.
So anyway, that's what we're doing.
You are going to have a good time. You're going to have great photos.
Yeah, and Roscoe's going to go. They're going to be...
It's probably going to be good weather.
It is. It's going to be like 70s, 60s, 70s, right?
Soak it up.
Yeah, which on the beach feels a lot hotter. I've gotten one of the worst burns of my life, like underestimating beach sun. So
Yeah, because it's like slightly cooler and it's very windy, so you don't feel the burn happening as much.
and the sun there is I feel like it's just more intense on the beach. The sun,
because of the water reflection.
yeah, something, but
Probably.
it'll fry you crispy, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I think it's gonna be great, and I'll give you guys the update when we're back.
I can't wait to hear it all about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. I did have a correction from last.
Oh, Clearing
episode.
Conscience Corner.
The Clearing Conscience Corner.
I know, it's so hard to say, but it reappeared.
It did. I forgot all about it.
I think I did it one time.
Well, I think last episode we referenced the podcast, and that's why we drink. And I accidentally,
one of our favorites.
It is, and I accidentally misgendered M. I said she, and they go by they them.
Yeah,
and like maybe nobody even noticed, but I did, and it made me feel bad.
we just want to correct it into the universe, and we never do it on purpose, and we just keep correcting ourselves, and we love them.
Yeah, and so I just wanted to say I didn't do that on purpose, and I'm sorry. And yeah, go listen to their podcast. It's good.
Oh my gosh, so good. It's one of our favorites. It's one we still keep up on, and we almost tried to see them, but then COVID got in the way, and then pregnancy got in the way.
Yeah.
So we never got to see them together.
I think the month that we were supposed to go see them, the world shut down. Yeah. And then when they rescheduled,
I was hella pregnant.
Like
about to pop.
Yeah, like
a week or two away. Like not even I was like, is it safe enough to go 2 hours away?
I know.
I was willing to kind of do it, and you guys were like, Shawna, you're crazy.
Yeah, I was the one
down.
that shut it down. I was like, we're not doing that when you're as pregnant as you are. That's
really
insane.
It would have been fine though.
It would have
been fine.
Oh well. Maybe it's in the cards for a different show. We'll see.
We'll try again for sure.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't think I have anything else to say.
Nah. Oh man,
That means you have to talk.
I'm uncomfortable already.
Don't be. You've done this a million times. Or 100 and something. But what is
more like 50-ish? Yes, 50. If we cut in half.
Yeah, ish. What are we on? 109?
I keep forgetting the episode numbers. What are we?
111.
Oh, 111.
I get lucky 111. How special.
LOL. Okay.
We'll talk about that at the end as my recommendation. Okay, so we have a not fun topic to talk about.
Yay.
I don't know how to get into it, even though I have notes right in front of me.
I'm curious what you picked because like we did that little poll.
Okay, yes.
And I was like, is she gonna like look at that?
Yes.
What's she gonna pick?
Okay, so yes. So I did take that into consideration.
Okay.
Because that was I didn't expect a little poll, and people actually participated, and they wanted to go.
Quite a few people participated.
Yeah,
I'm proud of y'all.
Right, we love that.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to honor that. And so I did go the paranormal-ish route. That's how it started.
Okay.
Well, then it kind of turned into the reality of it was so much worse.
Oh, no.
And so I do talk a lot about that, which is why it's
Oh, no. Kind of like
difficult.
the Daniel LaPlante episode I did where it kind of seemed paranormal in the beginning, but then he was just a murderer. A creepy murderer.
Oh.
The guy that hid in the house. In
Right,
the walls.
right. I don't know. You tell me later.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm not going to tell you like okay, let me just get into it because it's a little bit backstory, a little history. I'm going to rewind a little bit before we hit to the punchline of the topic.
Okay. I'm
That
here.
makes sense.
I'm here for the journey.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, taking us back to colonial America briefly.
Well, it was just the 4th of July, so
Appropriate.
Very.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're in the 1700s right now, briefly. Okay. So, it was believed that any person who was found to be mentally ill was completely incurable.
Okay.
If somebody mentally ill didn't have family, they would typically end up in jail alongside violent criminals.
So fucked
But even families who claimed their mentally ill family members would typically hide them in shame, hiding them away in attics, sheds, or even holes in the ground.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. They were just like, we really don't want to see that. So
Holes
that's
in the ground.
That's the history of humans
Being awful to other humans.
Being awful, wanting to sweep things under the rug, out of sight, out of mind.
Yikes.
Don't want to look at it. Don't want to look at the problem. Yeah. Don't want to deal with the problem.
Very dark.
Yeah, that's not fun. That's not fun. Okay, so it wasn't even until in the 1770s that facilities were even specifically made for the mentally ill. But even so, during that time, it was kind of a place that was away from society, and that was to get you away from society.
Yeah.
Not really treat or take care of you, but put you away.
Yeah, and the conditions were awful.
Yeah, so it wasn't really any better. But real quick, before we get into too dark of stuff, I'm going to talk about a badass woman named Dorothea Dix.
Dorothea Dix?
Dorothea.
Or Dorothea?
Dorothea.
Okay.
Dix. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it wasn't until she came along in the mid 1800s to become known as one of the first people to expose such horrible treatment to these patients.
Oh, okay.
Dorothea Dix should be remembered. She lived from 1802 to 1878. At the age of just 15 years old, she opened up her own private school for young girls because education for girls was literally denied at that time.
Oh, wow. We love her.
We love her. She's so great.
She's like blazing trails.
I know. Look at her go. It was in 1841 when she ended up visiting a jail in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And this is where she witnessed with her own eyes the terrible treatment of people who were mentally sick. Mm-hmm. They would often be naked and chained up to walls in cold, dark cells with no ventilation.
God, that's like, what the fuck?
It's barbaric.
It's so bad. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, so she was obviously, as we all are, very disturbed by this. Mm-hmm. And from then on, it was her life calling to raise awareness of this kind of horrible treatment to the mentally ill, and that they were facing this kind of terrible, they had no help. They were completely helpless. And why are we treating them as just as bad as, like murderers?
I mean, like
criminals.
Subhuman, like probably worse
Non-human.
than criminals. Yeah, they're just like not taking into account that they feel things that like we do. Like they're still a person. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, it's really crazy.
I can't believe we used to do that to people. I mean, I can, but like,
it's really hard to wrap your mind around it.
Yeah, especially
today.
It was only a couple hundred years ago that not even a couple hundred years ago, treatment was
I know
really bad.
The older I get, I'm just like, oh yeah, the 1800s, so long ago. And I'm just like, not really.
Relatively speaking, not. It's
if you look at the grand scheme of things, people live a long time. So it's just a few generations ago.
Yeah. Ugh.
Blech. Weird. Okay, so she actually caused so much public outrage that she got the attention of the Massachusetts State Legislature. I can't speak. I'm gonna go right past that. You know what I mean?
We won't be repeating it.
Thank you. Please forgive that one. Okay. So then that person provided more funding to improve the conditions. So at least like traction happened and they got more money. So she did a positive change there.
That's good.
Which is how you do it, girl.
Yeah.
Finally, in Trenton, New Jersey, in 1848, was the very first state hospital for the mentally sick that was built in the U.S. Sorry, if that made sense.
Yes.
So Dorothea was actually awarded for her efforts when the hospital officially opened.
Oh, good.
Because it was her efforts that kind of were like, okay, we're going to start building better hospitals to treat these people better. Mm-hmm. So she got recognized, which I feel like you don't hear about in the olden days.
No,
like
not for
a
women.
woman. Yeah. Usually a man would come along and be like, actually, I did that.
Take the credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is actually really impressive. And like, she started from such a young age too. Like, who starts a school when they're 15? Aren't you still in school?
I know.
What?
I guess back then you're already an adult at 15.
Like, I'm already married. That's, We love her. I love all of that.
Yeah, she's cool. I thought she was definitely worth mentioning. A little bit more. She ended up traveling all over the U.S. As well as places in Europe and Asia to keep the discussion going of the issue and being the voice and advocate for change and treatment for those helpless people.
Nice. Get it.
It's a sad little ending for her life, though. She did end up falling victim to mental illness herself.
Oh, wow.
Because she would start experiencing all these mental breakdowns after seeing all of these terrible places.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
I mean, it would get to me, too. You're seeing it with your own eyes. That's pretty traumatic over and over. Woof.
Yeah, God, the PTSD I'm sure she experienced was wild.
Yeah. And it was she herself who admitted herself to the very hospital that honored her in New Jersey.
Whoa, and what a twist.
Right? And she had her own apartment there for the rest of her years.
Whoa. And also very, like, self-aware? Like, checking myself in rather than having someone else do it? Like,
yeah.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Which is also still kind of badass of you to, like, well, I don't know. I mean, just what a twist.
It's such a
twist.
An end. Yeah. Interesting.
Got it. I had to mention her. It's very very interesting.
So are we talking about a hospital today?
Yes. So there is where we come and mention our main subject today, and our focus is on one of the most infamous lunatic asylums in America.
Oh.
Do you have any guesses? Do you know any of them?
I feel like I know so many, but if you would ask me to name one, I couldn't.
I guess I watch enough ghost shows that I kind of know a good handful of them. But yeah, this one's like the top of the list.
Okay, what is it?
It is West Virginia's Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.
Oh, okay. That sounds very familiar.
Yeah. That's an sure, iconic like, name, yeah.
Ghost Adventures has been there.
Oh, all the ghost shows have been there. Okay. I will talk about one of them. One of the cool ones.
Okay.
Okay, so this was first known as Weston State Hospital. The construction for it began in 1858. Initially started to be built by prisoners, but then German and Irish stonemasons were hired to take over.
Okay.
Eventually, all construction was halted in 1862 due to the Civil War.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because that was happening, remember?
No, I forgot. Wow.
So it was kind of so it wasn't finished at that time, but there was like building. It was still a building, just not functional, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So both Union and Confederate soldiers ended up occupying the building during the Civil War time.
Whoa.
All the way until the end of the war.
Crazy.
Yeah. So they had their time there, like literally.
Wow. So
for 4 years.
I mean, on top of all the other ghosts, you get Civil War soldiers too?
You start off with Civil War soldiers.
Shoo.
Classic ghost.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Construction then resumed and lasted all the way until 1881, well after the first admission of patients. This building is 242,000 square feet or 22,500 square meters. I think it's actually bigger, closer to 500,000 square feet because they've added on throughout the decades.
Oh, wow.
So Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is the largest hand-cut stone building in America.
Hand-cut?
Yeah.
Dang.
And it's the second largest hand-cut stone building in the world.
In the world?
Mm-hmm.
Sheesh.
Next to the Kremlin. Do you know what that is? That's
in Russia?
Yeah. It's the big-ass building in Russia.
Isn't that where...
That's number one.
Is that where Putin lays his little Putin head? I don't know.
I think so, right?
Okay.
I don't know.
Little Pooty.
Don't want to upset him. But yeah, so that's the largest. This is the second largest in the world for specifically hand-cut stone building.
Wow.
So it's pretty big. It's like crazy.
Yeah. Okay. I had just like when we talked about the Civil War, all of a sudden a flashback to a Ghost Adventures episode, and now I'm wondering if that's the one I'm thinking of.
Probably not, because I looked it up if there was a Ghost Adventures episode,
okay.
And it was one of their live events. They're one of their first live events for Halloween, and I totally remember watching that on Halloween night. And so
there wasn't together.
We might have. I might have forced you during that time because we were young.
I feel like it was one that we had watched together, and I just remember them getting like a image of a Civil War, like
probably
the body heat one that they do, or the Do you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
the thermal imaging.
Thermal
camera.
imaging. Yeah. I feel like they did, but I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, they definitely were there. I mean, all the ghost shows were there. But I just remember I was like trying to look for the episode because I wanted to rewatch it. It was so old. But it turned out to be one of their live episodes. So I couldn't find the episode.
Oh, okay.
So that's, but I mean, classic.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just had to correct you.
Okay.
Because I know my ghost adventure shit.
You know better than I do.
I'm such a nerd.
I haven't seen it in a while. I feel like it's one of those shows that now I can't seriously watch. Like I have to.
Oh, it's still just as bad and corny.
Yeah, because it's so bad that
I laugh at it openly.
Yeah, I need someone to laugh with.
But I love it. I laugh at it. I mean,
yeah,
it's terribly great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a good time. Okay. Anyways, where was I? Okay, yeah. So the
hand cut stones.
It's a big ass building.
Yes.
Okay, so the very middle of it has a 200-foot or 61-meter tall clock tower. Kind of gives its like iconic look. I think it's very eerie. So the center of the building is kind of like the hotel lobby vibe of it. It's where the front desk is, the office. It's has rugs, furniture. I guess
Sure.
type of vibe.
Yeah.
And then on each side of the are hospital wings.
Okay.
So the construction of the building followed what they called a Kirkbride plan. That's hard to say. Kirkbride plan.
Okay.
Named after Dr. Thomas Story Kirkbride. I have to talk really slow to not screw up.
Could have guessed that it was a guy named Kirkbride.
Of course. He was a white man.
Sure.
Of course. So if viewed from above, it resembles a very shallow V-shaped, along with staggered hallways for each wing.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So this is a design that's meant to capture like the optimum sunlight and airflow for each section.
Okay.
So it's like that's a good thought. You want each section to have equal amount of sunlight and air.
Yeah. I mean, that's definitely why I'm not any kind of a builder or building planner, because I wouldn't have ever thought about
Architect?
that. Yeah, architect. That's the word.
And that's actually quite the popular design for over 300 asylums across America is the same staggered V design.
Okay.
Fun fact, I guess. Okay. So this facility was to be entirely self-sufficient, including things like livestock, dairy, a garden, a cemetery. Patients were meant to roam free from restraints with a variety of different mental and physical stimulating activities to choose from.
Oh, that sounds nice.
So, I mean, the thought was good intentioned and it was there and it lasted for 0.2 seconds.
Oh, I was like, yeah, it usually starts that way and then just immediately goes to shit.
Yeah.
It was a nice thought in the beginning.
They tried.
They did.
We're still trying. Okay, so Trans-Allegheny was built to comfortably house 250 patients.
So, of course, they probably way overloaded that shit.
I'll get to that.
Yeah.
However, throughout the decades, anyone could be placed in a mental institution for literally any reason you can possibly ever make up in your brain.
Especially if you're a lady.
Especially if you're a lady. So I have some of my favorite maddening reasons
Oh, God.
of why people were dropped off there.
Oh, my God. Okay.
So this is literally in like the, what would you call it? I don't know. It's like the historical like check-in sheet of,
okay.
of list of reasons during like the late 1800s.
Your admission papers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's from like the documents from there.
Okay.
And this is how they word a lot of these reasons.
Oh, God.
Imaginary female troubles. I'm already so mad.
Imaginary. They're like, she wanted to vote. That was a problem for us.
She had cramps because she was on her period. That's not true. You're
also,
making it up. It's imaginary. Imaginary female troubles.
Okay.
Taking medicine to prevent conception. So birth control. Couldn't do that. Insane.
What?
You're this novel reading, you're out.
Novel reading?
Literally reading a book.
Oh my God, I'm already in there for like 3 reasons.
All of the reasons.
Check every box for me.
If your parents were known to be cousins.
That's not fair. Why do you
not
have to
fair.
go? They should go, if anything.
Good point.
punishing me.
Another maddening one of my favorites, is desertion from your husband. Just literally your husband dropped you off there because he didn't want you anymore.
Wait, but saying like you left him, so they put you in there, or like
he dropped, like your husband dropped you off and deserted you.
like a baby at a fire station.
Yeah. And so now you have nowhere to go. So you're in the asylum.
Just
Dropped off.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Also, another reason was rumor to murder your husband. Just a rumor. So anyone could have said, "Oh, I heard a rumor you're going to murder your husband."
Asylum.
Wow. And then here's a quick one of just more stupidity, laziness, jealousy, masturbation, whether that be too much or too little, greediness, grief, bad company, and bad whiskey.
Bad company. This person's a lame hang. So
Exactly.
to the asylum with you.
And the whiskey was bad. So how dare they?
Bad whiskey?
Bad whiskey is literally listed as a reason.
What a list. I feel like you don't have to do much to get in there.
I mean, if you're a woman, you blink and you're in there.
Imaginary female problem.
Gosh, we're still dealing with that kind of stuff. Anyways, okay, so it is no wonder why in the 1950s, Trans-Allegheny reached its peak in the amount of patients it held with, do you want to like maybe guess the number or how many times bigger?
So the capacity was 250. So I'm going to say they put like 1,200.
So they did 10 times more than the attended amount. And so it was about 2,400 people.
Oh,
double that.
I thought I was going high.
Yeah. So double your number.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Bad.
Where did they all?
I mean, they had like 5 to more people in a room. They had people laying in the hallways. I mean.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It got really bad.
And I'm sure they were not staffed well.
No. Cute of you.
Silly. Your female problems.
There's actually no clear number of exactly how many people have died at Trans-Allegheny.
Oh, no.
But it has been stated, it's safe to say that it's probably well over 10,000 deaths.
Oh.
Maybe even 20,000 I've heard in other sources.
And they had a cemetery, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
A morgue, it was a whole like city.
That's a lot.
Kind of.
Oh, that's a lot.
But it's a lot. It was in business for quite a long time.
We would be in that asylum so fast if we time traveled.
Oh, yes. This place has murder, torture treatments, violent patients against each other and the staff. Because something I don't necessarily always think about, but the nurses also had to endure a lot of physical and sexual abuse from patients.
Well, especially if they're not like staffed well and you're just overwhelmed with people.
Mm-hmm. And they're women.
Yeah.
You know, and they're not, I don't think they're necessarily ill-intended, but so they're getting abused, which is like scary because that's your job. And
I wonder, like, so this place housed men and women.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ooh.
And children.
And children?
Mm-hmm.
Sad.
I'll get to some of that. Okay, so some of the horrific therapies they practiced there were okay, we're getting into it a little bit. We're dipping our toe.
Shock therapy, I bet.
Yes.
Is in there.
So the first one I have is electroshock therapy.
Yeah.
It would shock you. Lots of fun. Hydrotherapy, which is pretty much like
ice baths.
Bath, hot or cold.
Yeah.
Stuck in there for hours. Insulin shock therapy. That's when they literally, like, I think, inject insulin on you, and they do it for the purpose of putting you in a coma. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't think I've heard of that one.
I think there's been never mind. But yeah, I've heard of it kind of being done before.
Ooh, that's fucked up.
So it's really, yeah. There's other medicine that was used to actually treat psychotic disorders. Mm-hmm. But the use of this was to put, again, patients in a catatonic state. So then it would be easier for them to like manipulate them in their bodies. They would be strapped into the beds. Sometimes the beds would even have cages on top of them.
Oh, God.
And they would be there for hours, sometimes days.
Oh, my God.
And the claustrophobia of a lot of this.
I hate all of this.
It's upsetting.
God. I mean, I definitely knew about the drugs because, I mean, what's the easiest way to deal with a person you don't want to be dealing with?
And not using it appropriately, but enough to sedate them.
Yeah, just make them, like, catatonic, basically.
So sad.
That's not treatment. That's just, like...
all against their wills, obviously.
Treating them like a problem so that you don't have to deal with it. Like, it's sick.
Yeah. Ooh, it's just, it's been hard to read about this.
Yeah.
So do you get it a little bit?
I do. I feel
like, oh, this is rough stuff.
It makes you feel so icky.
Yeah, it makes me feel dirty.
Icky.
Yeah, okay. Another form of quote-unquote treatment was called a wet pack. This is where they would take soaking wet blankets, wrap them around patients, and place them lying down. Then the blankets would dry up tightly, constricting their bodies even more, and they would then make them feel like they were on fire because they were so hot.
Oh, what the that's a different one, too, that I don't think I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
It's like a cocoon, like they're cocooning them.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh, I don't like that.
But, like, more intense because it's, like, dripping wet, heavy water.
Ooh, it's making my toes want to, like, flex and, like, my legs
Yeah,
move.
and your, like, body's stuck being wet, so you're, like, probably, like, wrinkly and like you're cold and then you're really hot and it's just like torture because you can't move.
I don't even like sleeping bags. I don't like to be zipped up in a sleeping bag.
Yeah,
because I get really claustrophobic.
I could totally get that.
That's making me.
If I did, I would probably have like half of it unzipped.
Yeah, I usually have to be able to get my foot out.
Sure, so, I get that.
Ooh, that's awful. Those poor people.
So the worst treatment.
No, what? We didn't. Is it phlebotomy?
Okay, I was gonna ask if you wanted to guess, and you did. Okay, yeah. So the worst treatment of all was becoming very well known and popular during this time, and it was the ice pick phlebotomy.
God, that one is so disturbing. Oh, it's so disturbing.
Rough. So this is where we want to take a quick breather to mentally prepare for the rest.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Okay.
Hi.
Are we a little bit more calm? To get a little bit more upset?
I guess. I know.
I'm sorry. I feel so bad.
It's fine.
I mean,
it's not, but I'm fine. I will be.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. I'll get through it.
I guess maybe I should have put a disclaimer, but I mean, maybe yeah, here we are.
And this is what we talk about. We talk about terrible things. I did this to you for like 2 episodes in a row, so
you did.
It's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go.
Okay.
It's my story. Okay. It's estimated that over 4,000 lobotomies were performed, and some of them publicly demonstrated at Trans-Allegheny.
4,000 just at that hospital?
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
Because obviously there was more done throughout the country.
Right. But that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. 4,000? If you really think about that, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you say the time, like how long it was done for?
Yes, I will get into that.
Okay.
Look at you. Okay.
It's like 4,000. Wait, over what period of time? Because
I don't have the years, but here, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell my story.
I will. Jeez.
Okay. I don't want to, though. It's terrible. Okay, so the ice pick method, if you do not know, I guess I will describe it. That is where they take a long, thin metal rod, such as an ice pick, and they would place that inside the patient's eye socket. I think it started out up the nose, and then it was the eye socket, and both are terrible.
Yeah, I've heard both.
I hate it so much.
Because they go through like the tear duct area.
Yeah, like the inside eye socket tear duct inside by the nose.
Michael's having such a hard time.
I'm so sorry, Michael.
He does not
I'm trying
do
to
well
get past it.
with eyeballs.
Me neither. Oh my gosh. Don't look up the pictures, you guys. Just don't.
I don't think I ever have, and I don't plan to.
You don't need to.
No.
The description of the existence enough is terrible.
My brain does just fine at imagining up terrible things.
Okay,
So
I'm not even at the worst part. I need to rip it off like a Band-Aid, you guys, okay? Michael, close your ears.
close your little baby ears.
Okay. So, it's placed in the eye socket. And then, with little to no anesthetic at all, they would hammer the rod into the brain and separate the connective tissues of the frontal lobe of the brain.
Oh, it's so gross.
Hammering?
It's probably like a hard tap. I can just hear it. Ugh.
And they're literally just like they're trying to separate the brain from the skull. They're scrambling brains. It's so upsetting. I'm so sorry.
Why?
Who thought this was an actual medical procedure? Who
they were
thought
probably,
this was a good thing?
So clinical about it. They're like, okay, and now we're just gonna just do it. Boop, boop, boop.
This is the new cool trendy thing.
Trendy.
I don't understand it.
No,
This is where I'm just like, yeah, okay, you can't maybe trust, quote unquote experts all the time.
not this one.
Not this situation.
It's so disturbing. It's so disturbing.
Yeah, wild times, man, wild times. Okay,
It was practiced by medical professionals. Like, guys.
and it they were performed on like kids. Like, I don't even want to tell you the youngest age, but it's too young.
Kids.
And obviously, no one really had consent over this.
No,
obviously, who would be down for that?
Didn't JFK's sister?
Stop it right now. Shut your mouth. Like, shut it, because I have that coming up.
Okay, I just always think about her for some reason.
I do too, and I had to bring her up, so shut up.
Like, why do I think about her so much?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
I love this. I love that you know where I'm going, and you're at the right spot.
Well, we are the same. So
we are. So it's like you know me or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, real quick before we get into that. Yeah. So a procedure like this, unfortunately, is also upsetting because it takes maybe 4 to 5 minutes to do.
I was just about to say it's so fast. They would just do them one after another.
They would literally have a line of people, and they would just bring them in one by one, 5-minute hammering, 5-minute hammering, and then just so upsetting how many they did.
Can you imagine being in that line and how quickly that line is moving?
And it was done where people can observe from the top. It was being educated. It was educational. This is the new procedure to help mental illness.
Yeah, and it's not a super bloody procedure, so it's probably
no, they didn't need an operating room. They didn't technically need a surgeon. They didn't need proper doctors, and
just some guy
was just doing it.
Oh God,
it's really upsetting.
It's so upsetting.
Okay, so if this alone didn't kill the patient, it left him with irreparable.
Yeah,
thank you. Brain damage, hemorrhages.
I mean, that's the point.
Exactly, it's exactly the point. Unfortunately, I guess. Yeah. Loss of personality, and even basic body functions.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand is what's the payoff?
Literally nothing.
So that they're basically catatonic, and you don't have to give them drugs. That's the whole point. It's just so
I guess they were I mean, if you're thinking that they're well intentioned, oh, this should just calm them down. But it's so barbaric. I don't understand where you get that conclusion.
Yeah, especially when there's so many people where they just lost body function, and it's just
kind of immediately. So many patients actually did die immediately, or just they would stop hammering. They knew it worked when the person stopped fighting and stopped moving. Isn't that so upsetting?
I hate that so much.
I hate it so much, and I'm so sorry. Okay, let's get through this. So yes, let's talk about JFK's sister.
Oh no, what was it?
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
She was pretty. Her picture. She's. I mean, of course, she's a Kennedy. They're all pretty.
Yeah, they're all.
She is a very, very sad story. If you don't know about her, she was unfortunately subject to a lobotomy. She was the forgotten sister, hidden shame of JFK, RFK. I don't think anything was actually ever wrong with Rosemary. I think she was just a normal person.
Okay, that's what I've also heard, was that she wasn't actually mentally ill. She was just maybe a little bit more independent, or like fiercely independent. They want
Because
her to
she's
be.
a female Kennedy.
Yeah, because she has like presidencies to win, but wasn't allowed.
Like that's maybe just her personality of being a badass woman. Like, yeah, and so her father didn't like that. So Joseph Kennedy is not the best human being that I've heard of, and he was just finding her difficult and out of control. And she was 22 years old.
22.
And they were like, "Oh, well, she's sneaking out of convent school, so I mean, she's definitely trouble."
Who wouldn't sneak out of convent school? That sounds terrible.
For 100%, for real.
I'm a hot bitch, Kennedy, and you want me to be a nun? No.
Right? I'm there with you.
Oh, God. Yeah. The injustice of it all is just...
Oh, gosh. I feel so bad for her. Oh, rest in peace. Anyway, so, yeah. So this Joseph Kennedy, the father of these famous Kennedys, didn't want to, damage their family name, their reputation, jeopardize the future political careers of his sons.
Oh, not the sons.
So what the logical explanation, the thing to do is, don't tell your wife. And don't get the consent of your daughter, obviously, and just schedule the lobotomy.
Wait, you didn't even tell his wife?
No.
Oh.
Can you imagine? I would instantly leave you.
Also, maybe
probably actually be violent. Yes.
Yeah,
that is so unacceptable.
Cause I mean, so the mother must have been against it, or
probably.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, clearly he doesn't care about her opinion or her wants or needs if he's lobotomizing his daughter, but Jesus.
For this, I'm not defending this guy whatsoever.
Okay.
However, I will say the time it was very popular, it was being known as a medical procedure.
They're like, oh, it'll just calm her down. She'll be her. She'll still be her.
Exactly. I think he literally did hear that from a doctor, like, hey, you might want to think about giving her a lobotomy. It's supposed to calm her down.
You might want to think about brain damage for your daughter. I think it's going to be really good for her.
So he took it and ran with it. And I just can't believe it.
That's bullshit. He must have known that it wasn't good if he didn't tell anyone.
Right? Like, he should have.
If he thought it was all above board, he would have told his wife, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. I think he just wanted a quick fix and it didn't work out. And then he got screwed.
Fucker.
She got screwed.
Yeah.
Poor girl. She's only 22. She's a child. Ugh. Anyways. Yeah, so it was actually, like, I don't think she had the typical ice pick. I think it was, like, an actual incision, unfortunately.
Like, we'll do the rich person's lobotomy. Don't worry.
Yeah, seems a little odd. But
we'll
yeah.
give her drugs. Like, we'll put her under.
She was instantly reduced to the functionality of a 2-year-old. Like, she didn't know how to speak or walk or, like, eat. And she lived for a long time. She spent the rest of her life in an institution.
Can you imagine?
Like into her 80s.
That is so heartbreaking. Like, you had your whole life ahead of you.
A Kennedy.
I can't believe
you're a Kennedy.
Oh, I can't believe you did that.
And they, like, literally wanted to, like, forget you. Like, I think some of the siblings visited her throughout the years.
I remember hearing that. Didn't JFK, like, always?
I think he did.
Ugh.
But, I mean...
That's so messed up.
I'm sure they were upset too. I mean, they were just kids themselves, and they're like, "What the heck happened to Rosemary?"
Yeah. Oh, you like this was on your order. Like you wanted this done.
God. The oldest girl. Yeah. Sad story.
Wow. She could get her own episode probably.
She could have, but
wow.
Okay, so anyways, for decades, with extreme overpopulation, poor sanitation, moldy windows, peeling walls, lack of furniture and heat, Trans-Allegheny already appeared to be abandoned before it officially was. And it closed down in 1994.
94?
We were alive.
That's way too recent. 94. Wow.
That's gross.
Wow.
Yes. It wasn't until a man named Joe Jordan ended up winning the highest bid and purchased the building in 2007.
Winner. Congrats on all of this bad energy.
I know, like, what? Yeah, why would anyone actually want the responsibility of that? But, I mean, people are out there.
Won atrocious vibes in a building.
Rich people really spend their money on interesting things sometimes, you know?
And
not the right things.
Yeah, I really don't get it. Probably never will because I will never be rich, but
yeah. The main center of the building acts as a museum.
Okay.
They have a room showing poems, paintings, and other art done by the patients.
Okay.
Another room is dedicated to artifacts from all like the physical treatment and restraints used on the patients. So
Oof, that's a creepy room.
that's a little bit morbid.
Yeah.
There's even some Civil War artifacts, I believe, displayed.
Oh.
Trans-Allegheny currently offers daytime tours and nighttime ghost hunts in order to raise money to slowly restore parts of the asylum.
Okay. Yeah.
So he's wanting to restore it, and so all that money goes to back to the building.
Restore it to what end?
I don't know. I don't understand the end game, but I mean,
like to make more of a museum out of it, like
maybe
as a historic site, I guess. But like,
I mean, to make money at least. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I don't know.
You're making money to make more money. Got it.
Sure. Okay, so here's some of the like haunty, terrible stories of ghosts and stuff.
Okay. Here we go.
One of the most known ghosts here might be something you wouldn't expect, and that is the spirit of a young girl named Lily.
Lily.
It is believed that she probably spent her entire life at the asylum.
Sad.
Because, yes, children would stay at the asylums, whether their moms were pregnant when they were placed in the asylum, or moms were, like, literally the only caretaker for their child. And so, like, if they were dropped off at the asylum, so was their kid. And the kid just stayed in the room with them.
So they're not, the kid's not necessarily mentally ill.
Exactly. But their mom is, and they have nowhere to go, so they have to go in there with their mom. So there's a good handful of children
that just grew up there.
Like, didn't know anything else. Like, literally didn't know the walls outside of that building.
Oh, no.
Isn't that the most sickening thing? And sad?
Yeah, because, like, what happens when, like, their parent passes? Like, they
I
just
don't
get kicked
know.
out?
I don't want to know.
Then they don't know how to live.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
Okay. I know. We hate all of this. She is one of the most interactive spirits at the asylum. She can be heard running around laughing, which could be creepy, but I mean, I'm sorry, but little girl ghost is creepy.
It just is.
You're adorable, but you're creepy.
Laughter, never good. Never good. I'm glad you're having a good time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to be like, oh, cute. So creeped out.
Oh, cute.
I mean, it's highly encouraged, though, if you were to visit, to bring any toys or trigger objects for her to play with. She does tend to play games with visitors and interact with the objects.
Okay.
So she's cool. She's willing to hang and be like, what's up?
Yeah. I mean, you have to bring, like, time-appropriate toys, though. I feel like you'd have to bring, like a...
I mean, a ball.
Like simple. A ball. Some jacks.
Teddy bear, maybe. Jacks. Marbles.
Yeah. Marbles. Yeah.
Okay. Another very well-known spirit is rumored to still be around the asylum is a guy named Dean. And he was sadly horrifically murdered here by 2 other patients. Oh gosh, this is another really rough one. This is one of the roughest ones I've heard. Okay, so they tag teamed real quick against this guy named Dean, and they tried to hang him with a bed sheet over a pipe.
Okay.
And I've heard that both versions of the story, whether he just like wouldn't die in that fashion, or the 2 men were toying with him and torturing him, and right before he would ever lose consciousness, then they would drop him, and so they just kept doing that over and over.
Okay.
When that wasn't enough, they decided that he needed to lay on the ground, and I'll say it really fast. I'm sorry, a trigger warning. I don't know what to do. I'm sorry. Okay, close your ears. Don't listen to this part. I'm sorry. God. Placed a metal bedpost on his head and proceeded to jump on the bed.
Ew.
Until it fractured his skull through the ground.
They impaled his head with a bedpost?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. No.
That's really upsetting. I'm so sorry.
That's really upsetting, Shawna.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's
it's
really
like their
bad.
famous story. It's like the story that's on every freaking thing I heard of researching this, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Okay, so yeah, that happened, and I'm very sorry about that. This occurred in one of the far back rooms in one of the wings, and it is said that you can hear disembodied screams from Dean coming from that room.
Oh man, I don't know how the spirit life works, but I hope that he's not actually just reliving that over and over again.
I really hope it's just residual stuck energy that's on repeat, and that he's moved on. But man, I don't know, and that would be rough to be stuck there. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's also isolation cells at the asylum. Yes, very much like a prison.
Oh yeah, solitary confinement, padded walls.
Legit solitary confinement was here. Yep, that's where you'll find the most violent energies felt by visitors. People tend to get pushed or scratched while standing in these cells. Mm-hmm. There's also apparitions of Civil War soldiers. Civil War soldiers seen roaming the halls at Trans-Allegheny. So there's layers and all sorts of spirits of soldiers, mentally ill, children, angry people.
Variety.
Yeah. I mean, a place like this it's one of the hottest places in America. It's all over the ghost communities list. I mean, it's just like, that's one of the big ones.
Yeah, there's just so much energy there that...
So much history, so much in the walls. I totally believe in I don't know, energy is stuck in the walls.
Especially if they're I don't know if it has any bearing on it, but doing hand carved stones. I wonder if just the process of that is
makes it more personal.
Yeah, or somehow imbues more energy just because it's handled by human hands so much. I don't know.
It's more of a craft.
Yeah. It's a bespoke asylum. I don't know. I just feel like the handwork that went into that, maybe it just has innately more energy attached to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay, we're almost done. I do want to talk real quick about the show Destination Fear. So the show actually is canceled. Oh. They're now on YouTube as Project Fear. I highly recommend support those guys. These guys are cool. It's a brother-sister team. Mm-hmm. They're our age, young 30s. They don't wear Ed Hardy. You know what I'm saying? They're not goatees and intense. They're regular ass people like us. And it's two of their childhood friends with them. And they go to these haunted places together, and it's just way more palatable than the typical ghost show. So I think you would like it.
Antagonizing the ghosts.
No, they're just regular ass people. They're just regular ass people. They're not big dudes in all black being so intense and obnoxious. You know what I'm saying?
Fight me, ghost. Yeah.
So really good show. I really like them a lot. So their first show was Destination Fear. They were at first associated with Zach Bagans.
Oh.
Now there's drama. So that's why they are now on YouTube, because Zach was these guys are getting too good and they're raining in on my parade. So he was gotta get rid of these guys.
He was feeling threatened?
I think so. That's the drama I'm hearing these days from the ghost news of Zach.
Hilarious that there's drama in the ghost community.
Absolutely. And he's never won. Okay, anyway, so this show. Okay, so they go to the asylum and they separate. They're on two separate sides of the building, and their names are Chelsea, Alex, Tanner, and Dakota.
Okay.
And they're on complete opposite sides of the building, nowhere near each other. And it's funny because I feel like a lot of skeptics or people are oh, ghost equipment's shit, stupid. Mm-hmm. And sure, I get it, whatever, but what else do you want us to do? But this I love. I'm gonna kind of ruin the episode, even though still watch it. But this the creepiest incident didn't happen with any of their equipment. It was with their iPhones.
Oh.
So what happened, I'll try to describe it as, kind of do an M thing and describe a ghost show.
Okay.
That's how I'm trying to end it on a not terrible note.
Sure.
But yeah, hopefully I do it justice because it's literally from my memory and I just watched it before I got here.
Okay,
so separate sides of the building. They're, communicating, trying to use their equipment. All of a sudden, Alex's phone, he's with Chelsea, and his phone says it's Tanner calling him. Mm-hmm. And he answers the phone. He's like, hey, what's up? You trying to call me? Static, screeching. It sounds almost like metallic screeching. And then the call drops and he's like, whoa, that's weird. Did you like butt dial me? Is you trying to call me? Bad reception.
Yeah.
So then they have the walkie and he's like, hey, walkie, like, hey guys, did you just try and call me? And they're like, what? They were like completely like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And he's like, I just got a call from Tanner. Is this phone on him? And he's like, I don't have my phone on me. It's in the gear room. I left it in our gear room.
That's worse.
Yeah, I get chills. And he's like, whoa, their phone just called me though. I will show it on my history. Like, and he shows it on the camera and they're on the walkie and then it rings again and it says Tanner. No. And he's like, look guys, you can hear it. It's ringing. It says Tanner. He answers the phone again, static, metallic screeching. And then it drops. And then they're like, let's go to the gear room and like, you know, let's meet there because we don't have the phone. Like, this is weird.
You gotta make sure no one's in there.
Yeah. So they run and meet at the gear room. They find the phone completely dead. The battery is completely drained.
No. Ew, I hate that.
I don't know if the calls happened and then the battery drained or if the calls happened after the battery drained, which would be creepier.
That would be creepier.
But it was most likely it drained from the calls because
it
took so much energy.
Yeah.
And that was so creepy.
Ew, I hate that.
I thought that was just like a very authentic moment. Because you don't mess with iPhones. Like,
well, also the fact it could have called anyone, but it called the guy that was in the place.
Exactly.
Which is
and they were like quickly able to confirm, like, I don't even have it on me. I left it elsewhere. Ugh. I just love it. I highly recommend that show.
Ooh, that's so creepy and so like weirdly intelligent.
Yeah, twice is what got me too.
Yeah.
Not just one call, but twice.
Ooh, at least they got it on camera. Can you imagine not getting that on camera?
I know, I'd be so mad. So I highly recommend that show. They're also now on YouTube as Project Fear. And then an actual fun fact that I can actually leave with this episode.
Okay.
It's actually kind of cool in a dark way.
Okay.
But Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum sits on 666 acres of land.
Of course it does.
With a total of 13 buildings.
Okay.
It was meant to be totally haunted.
Wow.
So that is the terrible and crazy story of that. And I will stop torturing everyone myself.
Great job.
I'm so excited to never talk about this again. I'm so sorry.
Isn't that so nice at the end when you like are done and you're like, I can purge this now from my brain.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The last few days, I'm just like, I'm tired of learning about this.
I totally get that, but you did a really good job. And that was.
Did I? Okay. I hope it made sense. Yeah.
It did, and it was fascinating. It's got a really. Crazy
I hope I had
history.
enough good facts in there, but yeah, I mean, wild history, wild ghosts, wild.
Ooh, I mean,
terrible.
It's not shocking that it's haunted. I don't think, in terms of a ghost tour, I don't know if I'd want to go to a place like that.
That's definitely for the professionals.
Where, you know, the energy is just going to be not good. Like, I feel like I do kind of want to go on well, we did go to the Pittock Mansion, which is supposedly haunted, but that's like...
That was a fun
That's like
daytime.
a nice ghost, where it's like the vibes aren't like from
you're just hanging out in your
people.
in your old chair, sipping tea.
Yeah. Whereas like a place like a mental hospital, I feel like you would just feel icky there, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like knowing the actual facts of what people endured there. Like, yeah, you can tell like the girl Chelsea was just like, I just feel so uncomfortable being here. And like, you can just tell she like wanted to cry the whole time. Because I'm like, yeah, girl, I would too. Like, terrible.
Yeah. I mean, you hear people say that kind of thing, like not even necessarily about ghosts, but like if you tour like Auschwitz or anywhere like that, where
I do want to,
you could just feel,
or not Auschwitz, I'm sorry. Continue.
But yeah, the residual energy is, you can just feel it. It's just crazy how
you just really feel the thickness.
Yeah,
it
really changes a place. It's just,
I totally believe in that.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I totally think that buildings can like contain kind of like an area of that kind of energy because of all the shit that went down.
Yeah, because it was so intense. Ugh. Blech.
I mean, that's like the most intense thing I could think of, and I gave it to you, so you're welcome.
Thank you. I earned it. I really put you through it the last few ones I've done. Yeah. So.
All right. Well, thank you.
I hope you guys all got what you came for.
It's your fault. It's all your guys' fault.
You guys wanted paranormal. She gave it to you.
I gave it to you.
It really was a lot of people wanted paranormal. I was surprised.
Me too. Maybe
don't
it's
know what
because
I
I was so like anti it. I don't know. I find it hard.
Hard to cover? Hard to research?
Yeah, I guess it's like hard to like not feel like I'm repeating like the same ghosty, events.
Oh, yeah. I think.
But I thought this was like, a good mix of both, reality and paranormal horrificness.
Totally. I dug it. I was disturbed, but it was good. Okay, should we do City of the Week?
Yes.
All right, this week it is Bristol, England.
Hello.
The motherland.
Bristol, what's up? We
Hey.
see you.
We just celebrated our independence from you. But we're so glad that you're here for us. Bristol, thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. We see you.
We see you. Shout outs to you. And if you want to be the City of the Week, you got to binge.
Tell your friends.
That's all I got to say. What are we watching? What are we listening to, Shawna?
Do you want me to go or what are you watching?
We are watching. We just started watching Monk because it's on Netflix.
Is it? That's an oldie.
Yeah, they're making new content.
What?
Is it already out?
Yeah, it's on Peacock.
Oh, it's on a different streaming. Stupid.
Yeah,
Okay,
of course, nowadays.
we don't even have it.
I mean, neither. I refuse Peacock. I already have like 50 subscriptions.
What is this world?
This world has turned wrong with subscriptions.
It's really gone rampant. Anyway, so we're watching Monk, which
Great
is
show, though, right?
Yeah,
I haven't watched it.
It's definitely, my sister Katie called it a product of the time, which is true. Because I have a real problem with continuity and logic, and the show doesn't really follow a lot of it sometimes with like crime scene etiquette.
Sure.
Because he's like a
Sounds
detective
right.
and he just touches everything and like
With his hands.
yeah, I'm just like, that wouldn't be. But then I'm like, would you let go and just have a nice time? So I'm trying to do that.
Also true.
Because it's obviously a silly detective show and not based in reality. But it's
And we all know that those shows are not based in
no.
a real reality.
And why is the stick up my butt? I don't know. So anyway,
okay.
We're watching that, and of course it has the Randy Newman theme song. Wait, Randy Newman? Did I say that right? Okay.
Cool.
Which is great. What are you watching?
Okay, so it's not Murder LOL, okay? It is a new podcast I'm binging, and it's called Murder 101.
Oh.
Okay, and it is about literally a high school class in somewhere in the South, but they take on a sociology class, and they take on this actual local crime, like unsolved murder. It's like also a Jane Doe. There's like unidentified women, and they legit figure out how to become like a detective, like how to do a profile on a criminal. They like each episode is them getting closer and closer to like actually doing police and FBI work, and they actually get help from the FBI. They solve this murder.
How is it a podcast though? Like, are they each individually being interviewed? Like, how does that?
Yeah, the kids are interviewed, the teachers are interviewed, the FBI that talked to the students has been interviewed. It's been the most interesting. I've been wanting to absorb all of it, but I haven't had time.
Ooh.
But it is so good. It's so binge worthy because it's high school students and they're like, let's get a step closer and figure out this one. And they're like so engaged because true crime is such a thing now.
I'm so jealous.
I know. I wish I
would
would
have
have
signed
that.
up for that class in a heartbeat.
Are you kidding? I would be all about that.
Oh, that would have been so cool.
Yes. So it's very interesting. I highly recommend. If you don't, I will be upset. So
Okay.
that is my recommendation for podcasts.
I usually do end up listening to the things you recommend. It just takes me a while.
Thank you. And also the same with me. With
Yes.
you. It does take me a while.
And with you. Cool. Okay, everyone, put a little pin in that. That sounds really interesting.
Yep. You're welcome for that little nugget of good stuff.
Yeah, I do want to. That sounds like something I want to listen to. And I'm running out of content because.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. I'm like, I'm in the same old. I need some new shows.
Yeah, I'm kind of all caught up too on most of mine. So.
All right, there's that one.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
All right.
All right. Cool. Are we all done?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good up.
And good night. All right, Wikipedia.com, Reddit.com, Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum.com, USGhostAdventures.com, Destination Fear Season 2, Episode 12, highly recommend. Music by Broke for Free and Matt Edwards, and we're edited by Michael.
All right, you guys, you know the drill. All right, Anxious and Afraid the Pod is our handle for both our Facebook page and the group, along with our Instagram and Gmail.
We're also on Twitter at AA the Pod. You can support us at patreon.com/anxious and afraid. You get some cool perks, ad-free episodes. You get a release a day early. You get a sticker. You get a shout out. We also have some cute, fun merch if you're interested in that. I always recommend buying a size up in men's. And you can find all of that listed in our episode notes and our website, which is really cute. And that's anxiousandafraid.com. Check it out.
You can also support us for free by leaving a rate and review. And please subscribe and tell your friends. Okay. Good up and good night. I can remember. There's something I'm supposed to say.
Michael's head.
Get out. Get out.
Do it.
Say the fucking thing.
Wrap it up. Wrap it up.